The second factor to picking a great market as an AI agency owner is finding a market that actually has the buying power. This is very important. Not only do we need to have an offer that the market connects with and that we feel confident that we can deliver, but we also need to find a way to talk to a market that actually has the money to spend. There's a reason why in the coaching space, for example, you see a lot of coaches targeting audiences that are higher advanced in age, menopausal women, men who are in their 50s in their career, for like who wake up to this midlife crisis. There's a reason why insurance products, for example, they are products for the later generations, etc. So we want to find a way to talk to a market that actually has the money to spend, and how we find these people is what we're going to be covering in this video. So my name is Florian. I've been in the AI Automations by Jack community for the last 2 years. We've seen many hundreds of agencies fail, and we've seen also about 100 excited and bring their offers to the marketplace successfully. And so what defines the ones that fail from the ones that actually succeed is most of the time just tenacity and really wanting it, like really having your back to the wall and saying like, this is what I'm gonna do, or coming to the community already with existing skills or an existing digital agency that is already working and already making money. Now, when we want to find a market that is not only in pain but also has the buying power, here are a few things to consider. First of all, markets that generally speaking I've seen are harder to serve, not because there's something wrong with the people or the industry. I want to be very clear. I respect the industry and the use case that we're going to cover tremendously, but because it's just hard to sell. Restaurants, for example, very hard to sell. I've seen this many times that people want to sell voice AI to restaurants, and I've yet to really see this work. Hard to do. Now, I've seen some use cases recently. For example, one of our community members, he just got onboarded for a, I think, $1,500, $2,500 retainer for a company in Australia who sells voice AI to pizza shops specifically. That's their ICP. But they also got funding. They've got a team of killers, which are 6 very experienced people teaming up to bring that to the market. It's more like a software product rather than like an agency service, voice AI. So you got to actually have resources and bring that to the market. Pretty much like SaaS, you also have to have the distribution and all of that. So restaurants, not recommended. Local plumbers, local electricians, everybody who's like a one-man show, not great, not recommended, because they're generally speaking very volatile, and they're also just starting to figure out. When you're actually talking to plumbing and roofing companies who have multiple vans, multiple teams have been doing that, have got their SEO or whatever's bringing in business to their website, they've got that sorted, they can be incredibly beneficial, like incredibly grateful clients that you can get your foot in the door with a website build, Google business profile, etc. Managing the SEO and advertising services, even custom app solutions, all of these traditional digital services, social media management also comes to mind. All of these traditional digital services, you can serve them with, and they're going to be great clients. Market number 3 that I would not recommend is real estate agents. I've seen this from Australia to South America to North America and the UK and many other places in between, Germany too. Real estate agents are just hard to sell to. The challenge with that is a lot of people come to the automation space and they have a friend that is a real estate agent and they think, okay, let's serve this market. First of all, what I would like you to understand is many real estate agents don't make any money at all because they actually don't sell any houses, or it's very volatile. You need to, if you want to serve this market, truly find the real estate agents that have a lot of business and a lot of houses that they sell, which is only like the top few percent. And the main determining factor between the real estate agent who does and the real estate agent who doesn't is social media. If you found a way to utilize social media, you can do it well as a real estate agent. But even then, very hard to do. I would just not recommend going into this market at all. Only to the people who really have 20 years of experience and a lot of network there recommend that, but it's generally speaking, you're also going into an industry that is just hard to sustain. Not a bet that I would make. Real estate in general, though, is not a bad place at all to be. There's lots of capital being deployed in multifamily, etc. Investment is being raised for these types of solutions. Property management is a huge use case. We've had a fantastic masterclass in our community about a gentleman who talked to us about PO and AP auditing, right? Oftentimes these multifamily unit owners, they get overcharged because the local electrician, commercial plumber, roofer, etc., they charge sometimes 2 or 3 times for that one line item, or overcharge or put something on the invoice that wasn't even done before. There's a lot of fraudulent behavior actually going on there. And if you can find a way to audit them, he gave this very specific example that somebody approached him, for example, and said, okay, I'm going to audit your AP, which stands for accounts payable, exactly. So I'm going to audit your accounts payable, and if we find some inaccuracies or anything there, I will just take half of the money that I save you, right? That was a use case that he explained. The property management, we see a lot around invoices, a lot of vendor management, a lot of back-end systems that you can truly implement as a system, even as a custom system, because even the bigger incumbents that are serving this industry are not yet fully leaning into that yet. It's a great opportunity. Many other use cases in real estate are there. It's a great place to be in, but not necessarily the real estate agents on the front. Also, coaches and educators, generally speaking, I've seen a lot of people wanting to serve coaches and educators. It's not a good market that I would serve, because also me being a coach, I can empathize with that, how hard it is to actually get started and to keep going. And there's a big divide between everybody who wants to be a coach, who prefer to be a coach, and the coaches who actually are coaches and likely have been coaches before it even was popular and before it even was easy. That's how you really can discern the ones who truly have a passion for that from the ones that actually just see that as a business opportunity to start a business online. And so if you do, you can serve these coaches who already have a brand, but that should be the determining factor. You need to find the ones who already have brand and distribution on their side. On the other hand, I also work with, or I talk to people who serve them and have coaches as consultants and educators as clients, and even they struggle because knowledge is getting disrupted, the knowledge industry as a whole. And it gets less and less valuable to give advice and to monetize advice. So it's also not necessarily an industry that I would recommend going in. There are other use cases that are better, and we'll make another follow-up video on that. Now, the fifth market that I would not recommend going into is marketing agencies. I've also seen this many times where people are looking to sell to marketing agencies. Not recommended, because they're usually already adopting and need your services usually less, because these are actually the ones who would probably pivot into AI. Now you can do that. What I've seen, what can work, is if you actually partner with a marketing agency and you let them sell the services for you, and then you are just going to be the implementation partner based on that. That is a use case that I've also seen, a very tactical piece of how you can structure all of that from a strategic standpoint. And so what is another market that I would not recommend going into? Barbers, for example, is not a great place. A lot of people, they go to their barber, they talk to their barber, they work all day online. It's pretty much one of the only people that they talk to, which is something to take into consideration, right? We should be talking more to people. But then they want to serve their barbers, and it can be great to just get your first client there for sure and have the barber, for example, spread the word. It can be great referral partners. But generally speaking, as a barber, you also need social media. It's also one of these businesses like auto body shops as well. It's just not that fantastic to sell to mechanics or to sell to barbershops, just because they're currently generally getting compressed margins due to inflation. It's just a tough business to be in currently. So these are the markets that I would avoid, and we need to find a market that has the purchasing power to spend, which is one of the most important factors, one of the 4 very important factors in picking the right market as an AI agency.